You go by Skylar? Okay. Skylar, I'm Austin Ritchie. I work at the Pickens County Sheriff's Office as an investigator for Special Victims Unit. As the investigator, or as a investigator, I'm not the investigator for this case. I'm not the charging arrest. It's cold as hell in here. I'm not the charging officer in this case or anything like that by no means. But I'm an investigator for Special Victims Unit where these domestic type cases with domestic type charges come through, and we all hear these cases. So I've been asked to come down and talk to you, see if you want to talk about this incident, provide you with your Miranda rights, and then see what you want to talk about from there. Is that fair? All right, cool, man. Basically, we'll just have a conversation. So this is a Pickens County Sheriff's Office Miranda rights waiver sheet. We'll read it out, and then we'll make a decision from there. Okay. Your rights are: before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. To have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions, and to have him or her with you during questioning. If you have no money to pay a lawyer's fee, the court will appoint one to represent you without cost if you wish. If you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand those? You got any questions about any of those? And yeah, I did ask you, you know how to read and write the English language? Okay. Your waiver of rights. I've read this statement of my rights, and I understand what my rights are. I'm willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and know what I'm doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me. Do you understand that statement? Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions about that statement? Mm-hmm. So basically, that's your waiver of rights. If you want to have a conversation about this case today and kind of what's going on and your side of it, things like that, just sign, print, and write your date of birth, and I'll fill out the rest. What you want to do?
I'll sign it. We can talk.
Okay. So, sign, print, date of birth. You have to stand up over if you need to. I know that's painful, those cuffs the way they are. If you don't mind, write your initials beside each one of these that I asked you those. I'm sorry. Thank you, buddy. I'm going to date it for today, 12/8/2023. It is 12:37.
Well, I've been calling the last 2 or 3 days to see if I needed to come up here, what I do, and nobody would tell me anything. So,
who you been calling?
Well, just the number on Google for Pickens County Sheriff's Office, and then they transferred me to another desk that I can't quite recall what they called it or whatever.
Okay.
And I didn't get anybody. I left a voicemail with somebody. I don't know who it was that they transferred me to. I left a voicemail with, but I did that. And then this morning I called a couple times,
and each one of these are, when you talk to them or their answering machine picks up, they're identifying as Pickens County Sheriff's Office number. Okay,
yeah, right,
all right, just make sure. We'll go. I'll get somebody to look into it and see.
Well,
we'll find out.
I wasn't calling 911. I was just calling to see if I needed to come here to turn myself in, or if I had charges, or what the situation was, because I didn't know anything until just recently. So when this dispute started, whether it was verbal, physical, whatever it was, when it started, once it was over, how long before you started calling the sheriff's office? I think the first time I called the sheriff's office was that evening, but I wasn't there. I never knew my neighbor told me the police came to my house. Okay. So I had no idea that they were even, I left to let the situation try to diffuse or whatever, and
So you say you were there that day, you just wasn't there whenever law enforcement showed up?
I wasn't there when law enforcement, I had no idea what I'm saying is I didn't know law enforcement had been to my house until my neighbor told me.
Okay.
And then that's when I started calling up here.
Okay. You remember, which neighbor was it? You ain't got many up there.
No, I ain't got many.
Hey, man, you way out in the middle of nowhere,
Just a
man.
neighbor.
Just a neighbor? All right, is somebody close to you or what?
I mean, I was just letting you know when I started calling or whatever.
Okay. But it was that afternoon, though, after the altercation had happened? The same day?
What I'm saying is after the police left my residence is when I was called. I'm not, that's what I'm saying is after the police came to my house, not after any other words or vocabulary or anything. I mean, after the police came to my house, that's when I started calling, once I was informed of that.
Okay. But even still, that was a couple of days ago, not yesterday or the day before, right?
That's been the last 3 days.
What happened, I tell you what, here's a better place to start. So, she filed she got a Heather or Jan? Heather filed a police report with us on, December 6th, which would have been 2 days ago. She filed a police report with us on December 6th at 11:41.
Man, I called 911 before all this. I called 911 that morning. I've called 911. She has no trespassing on my property. A trespassing notice already to not be on my property, but
Has she been I know when the trespass was put in
all the
place.
stuff's there, but
See, in that case, and just hear me out, the way South Carolina law works, in that case, when she was placed on trespass notice, she may not have even been able to be placed on trespass notice then. So the trespass notice may not have been, you know how the whole thing works, like magistrate's office, you got to go in.
I guess. I got a little piece of paper that said it. That's all that I know.
Right, but it may not have held up in court ultimately, But since that trespass notice was served on her,
yeah, she's been there.
She's been living there. I mean, hey man, listen, Skylar. All I want to do is have an honest conversation. That's it. I understand you in a spot. I understand these some serious charges, but at this point, it's better just get out in front of it and be done with it, and then everybody can just keep rolling.
No matter Skylar Morgan has been charged with criminal domestic violence and high aggravated assault. There's nothing that I'm going to sit here and say to you that's going to put me out in front of it. It's already.
Well, I'm of the mindset when people are honest, it honestly does. It makes a difference with the judge. It makes a difference with the jury. I mean, you got an opportunity here to paint a picture, Skylar. You got to paint a picture as like, are you just this raging lunatic, or did you just? No,
I haven't had any interaction with law enforcement in the last 10 years.
I've looked at that. We'll come up here and talk to you, man. You had, and that's what I'm saying. See, those are the kind of things that'll be brought up whenever you go to court. It'll be, hey, he ain't been in no trouble. He come forward with what he was doing. He didn't give him no problem. I heard that you didn't get no problems at all when you was arrested. See, it's all those different kind of things. Believe it or not, they do matter. It does make a difference.
Yeah.
It really does. And like I said, not to mention, right now, we only have one side of the events. Mm-hmm. We need your side of what happened. And whether your side is exactly what she said or whether it's not, we need to know that for the sake of court. Right. And then after this, once it's all, because it still can be, like I said, you ain't got no extensive criminal history, you ain't got no real super bad background. This can be taken care of, and then you two can go your separate ways.
It's not going to be took care of pre-me sitting in front of a judge or pre-me sitting and going through trial for it. No matter what I sit here and say to you, they don't put charges on. They don't just drop charges off people or.
No.
It's nothing like that. So.
No, but it can change. It can change a lot of things for you when it comes to the end result, and that's what you're looking for, is because it's coming one way or the other now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and make it easier on yourself on the back end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all I want to do, man.
Well, when I was one time, when I was 19, I got charged with assault and battery first degree.
Was that when you shot the people's yard up with a shotgun?
Yeah.
I read that.
And
What happened? I mean,
and so I get arrested for it. The victim of that wasn't even the person I was in an altercation with in the very first. So it was all, and I got arrested, paid my bond, got out, and went and talked to the investigators, and said, "Let me tell y'all what really happened. This is all," and they took that and put it into the as just an admittance of me being there in the first place. And it all worked against me when they were all being nice to me, and I just wanted to tell the truth and have an honest conversation so that things would pan out.
But that's what you got to do is be honest. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. If you think of yourself as a guy of good moral turpitude and everything, you got to be honest regardless of how it works out for you anyway. You know. I know there's been some kids involved before. Like, are those your kids or her kids?
One's mine, one's his brother, but I read the warrant, and it said that they were present for any type of, they were at school. That's what, when I read the warrant, it said that there was kids involved. The kids went to school that morning, and I haven't seen them since they went to school that morning. That's from just on the warrant that I read, but.
I'll go back and look. Like I said, though, I didn't issue that. I didn't get that warrant, so I really couldn't tell you what's on the warrant itself. Yeah. I've read all the other information. I don't recall right now. I don't recall children being present, but I can look into that for you. I mean, that's even a small piece though of the other. Hold on, give me 1 second. So the warrant request. Tell me if this sounds right. The warrant request, and usually this is almost verbatim what they put on the actual warrant itself when they issue one. So we issue this, and then the judge puts it on legal warrant. Okay. The affidavit says. Victim stated that he was going to jail for hitting her, that their son would not have either parent. The accused and the victim have a child in common.
Yeah, we do have a child in common.
So maybe maybe it's not saying there was
I don't know. Maybe I misinterpreted.
I'll go back and look at it for you.
The piece I got to read of it, but.
I promise you, I'll go back and look at it for you.
I don't really know.
Well, let's start here. Tell me on December 6th, from the time y'all woke up that morning, on December 6th, tell me from the time y'all woke up that morning till the time you left the house. Tell me what happened that day, man, in as much detail as you can. I got all day.
I think I'm just going to seek representation.
Okay. Hey, man, that's your right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to talk to me about the case any further? Okay. That's 100% your right. I understand. And the reason is I'm not the best talker. You know, I'm not the most educated person, and that's why I said it, man.
In communication, so.
Hey, that's why it's there.
There's people that are better at that than me. Yeah. I got a habit of fumbling over my own words and stuff sometimes when I get anxious, and this whole situation is just crazy. So.
Okay. Well, it's your ultimately at the end of the day, it's your decision whether you talk or not. That's you want legal representation. We 100% respect that. Okay. That's what our Constitution and everything's there for. Once you get, depending on what they do with your bond and stuff like that. Once you get legal representation, are you going to seek a public defender or a private attorney?
No, I have an attorney. I've already talked to him.
Oh, you've already talked?
The last couple of days, yeah.
Okay. Who are you working with?
Zach Ellis.
Zach Ellis. Let me write that down, and then you reach out to Zach and tell Zach to get in touch with our office, okay? And then we can set up something with him if see. Where's he out of?
Greenville.
Greenville. Is it his office or is he out of another firm?
It's his office. Zach Ellis Law.
Zach Ellis Law. Okay. So when you get in, here in a minute, when you make your phone call, are you calling him first or you calling family?
No, I'm gonna call family first.
Okay.
If I get more than one phone call.
Usually, I think as long as you behave and everything in here, I think they're pretty lenient on stuff. They may not let you stand in front of the phone for the next 3 hours, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, it's 12:49 now. You should have a good chance at getting in front of a judge pretty quick, I think. And then once you get a bond, all that other stuff, talk to your lawyer, have your lawyer reach out to the sheriff's office if you want.
If I get a bond, if I get one?
Is it just one charge?
Yeah.
Just one charge, right? Was it DV high and aggravated or DV first?
Well, it's high and aggravated. Which one's worse?
High and aggravated's the top, as bad as it can get, yeah. But it ain't accompanied with nothing else. So, but whenever you get in touch with him, just get in touch with our office, and then you two, and he's going to talk to you too about whether it's going to be best for you just for y'all not to talk to us about the case, period, or if he thinks that it would be good for you to sit down with him and us, and then we ask you questions,
right,
and then he helps you answer them accordingly.
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware that have you been back to the house? So we served a search warrant on the house yesterday. Okay. Just basically went in and took pictures. I think we collected a rifle off the property. That was at the top of the property. I think it was at the top of the property beside the camper. So we have issued and served a search warrant on the house. So there should be a search warrant somewhere in the house when you return home, in case you come home and this stuff's been moved.
What kind of rifle did they see?
I was not there. I had to leave early, so I don't know. But they did retrieve a rifle from there. So all these things, man, please think about them. Get with the attorney.
The only time I touched a firearm in this entire situation was I wanted to leave the house, and she's saying, "Well, I'm gonna mess up all your stuff that you leave. When you leave, I'm gonna mess up all your stuff." So I took my guitar, my chainsaws, my blower, and my guitar and some valuable stuff I got, and I put it up there away from the house so that it wouldn't be. But I mean, that's the only time. I don't even know if that was. Yeah, like I said. Well, I appreciate your time.
No problem, man. No problem. I appreciate you sitting down with me for a minute. Okay. At least now you know. And then, like I said, we could get out and let you know that we searched the house and stuff like that. It's it's your place. We'll give you do you respect letting you know, so we can be able to find you for a couple of days. So.
Man, like I said, I've been calling. Come up here. I have no problems coming up here or whatever.
And I'll let the lead investigator, I'll let them know that you've been calling. You called the first time, did you call the 898-5500 the very first time?
The very first time, yeah.
The dispatch or non-emergent number? Okay.
Well, just the one that, I don't know, just the one that comes up on Google when you type in Pickens County Sheriff's Office.
Should be.
I'm not sure. I can't remember the number because I just pressed it off Google, But
now you got to be careful though, because it will bring Pickens County.
It wasn't Georgia. No, it wasn't.
Sometimes that happens a lot. Yeah. That happens a whole lot. But all right, man. Well, I'll let them get you through and get you processed. That way you can get in front of a judge. So at least whatever bond's gonna happen, at least it'll happen today, and you got to wait until in the morning to know. At least that way, as long as he gives you some kind of a bond, as long as it's not a no bond, you can go ahead and get somebody to start working on it for you. Okay. Yeah. Is Zach aware of
that I'm here now?
Yeah. No. Okay.
Nah, it will be shortly.
Okay. All right, man. Well, again, best of luck to you. And maybe we'll work on some of this other stuff for you on the back end, okay?
Well, appreciate you, sir.
All right, buddy. No, thank you, man. Thank you. One thing for sure, man, I know you and her's got a long history, dude. When you get out of here, y'all got to be done.